Hi, everybody. We're Bald and Board Games. More specifically, I'm Bald.
And I'm bored.
We have a playthrough for you. No, not playthrough yet. Kinda, actually.
A little bit. Tutorial-ish.
Tutorial. Learn how to. Rulebook rundown. Kinda. Not really, because we don't have a rulebook either. How to play in a way, the Bald Board Game way, of Wonders of the First by Wonder...
CCG.
CCG. Caveat at the top of the video.
Yes. This is AI artwork. We weren't aware of it when I backed and purchased it. I didn't even back this game. I just purchased the game. It was already out. This is the first set, Existence. This already existed. I did not do the Kickstarter. I just bought it like a week ago. The second set, called The Stones, I have pre-ordered. Since I already paid for it, we're going to try it out. We do not condone AI artwork, nor do we do AI artwork ourselves.
No.
But it is a game. We're going to try it. We're going to see how it is and see, at least on gameplay aspect, is it a fun game to play?
Yep.
We don't necessarily recommend or unrecommend buying it or not because we don't know yet. But we're just going to give you our thorough process. We did an unboxing. We're going to show you how to play. We're going to have playthroughs, and then eventually we'll do a review.
Didn't work at all.
All right. So for this game, very quick overview, is you have 7 realms, which is... There we go. R-E-A-L-M-S, realms, not rounds. But you have 7 rounds of 7 realms in this game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is a little strange. Again, we're going to potentially get actual player mats. This is round 1, 2, 3. So it's always across from the other player. So one player will have it from left to right, the other's from right to left. A little annoying, but you have to be able to see across realm to realm.
So why isn't this it?
This could be it too. Either way, doesn't matter.
Well, so it's similar to AI Apocalypse in that fashion.
Yes, exactly.
It's just you're not with AI Apocalypse. You just had the different
like lanes,
but
yes.
you weren't having to go in 1, 2, but
yeah.
The lanes.
So these will matter.
Yeah.
So you have the 7 realms. You'll have actions and energy available. You'll have your deck of cards. This is a typical TCG aspect from that range where he has a deck of cards pre-crafted. I have ones. There is 401 cards, I believe. Yes, 401 cards in the set number 1. There's an additional 472 or 3 in set number 2. So there's a lot of different ways you can build your deck. The rules are you can only have 3 of each card. And I think maybe 1 of each mythic is one of the rules that it gets explained on the website. But very standard to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or whatnot. You can't just have 20 of the same card.
Yeah.
So for this rulebook rundown, there is not a physical rulebook. So they gave us a...
Oh, sorry.
They gave us a card with a QR code. For this, it's not that bad. I already know how to play the game mostly from conceptually. Wow. Conceptually, I know how to play the game. So it'll be pretty easy to explain. It would be nice to have a rulebook, though. You could have a little printout in the box, especially in the starter set.
There's no excuse.
And the normal booster box makes sense, but like the starter set, give us a little printout.
Yeah, well, like Pokemon came with one, like back in the day. It still probably does, and that rulebook is longer than it sounds like this one is. So,
yeah.
Come on.
So what we're going to do first is I want to give you a quick overview of how the game plays, explaining the round structure, things of that nature. Go over the terminology. Then our second part we'll have a chapter for is we'll go through a little mini tutorial and show you like 2 rounds, how it plays. So you can understand what the cards are, what they do, etc.
Cool.
So to start things off, you start the game with 7 cards. So you shuffle your deck. A lot of games you'll like cut the other player's deck. You start by drawing 7 cards. That is your starting hand. There is a mulligan option in here, so you can mulligan up to 3 cards to the bottom of your deck and draw up to 3 more equivalent to get to 7.
Gwent does 2.
Yep, a lot of TCGs do that nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's like a one-time thing right off the beginning of the game. You can't play the game yet, it's right before you start playing. The purpose of this game is to gain stones. So each realm has stones associated to it. You are trying to get, there we go, stones to yours.
Do 5.
Oh, there we go. Fantastic. You're trying to get stones to your side. Your opponent's trying to take them to their side. At the end of 7 rounds, whoever has 4 or more, or the most, because there could just not be attacked over here, whoever has the most will win the game. So it's very simple. It's not one of those games where you have life points or anything. You're just trying to collect stones, which I kind of think is a fun little combative thing where it's
a lane battler.
Yeah, so it's not like, oh man, I had like a super powerful defensive guy over here. Well, Over here, D's better. So like each lane matters, how you're structuring each lane, not just one lane.
Yeah.
So I do like that aspect.
It's very Pillars of Fate.
Yes, exactly. So you can't just focus all your eggs in one basket. All right, so.
Focus all in one basket.
Start of game. You have your 7 cards, you have 3 actions, and you have 1 energy.
Okay.
It's not tokens or anything like that provided. We're using dice. That's kind of a go-to in TCGs anyway. So we have a standard D6 counting our actions. You start with 3. That can go up based on card effects. Start with 1 energy. I'm using a D10. I'll use a second one if it gets over 10. Nick has a D20. Either one works. Yep. And then off to the side here, we have some other D6s for counters, which apply to different cards that you can just use and put on top of the card to easily show off. For the actions, you start with 3 every single round. You never start with under 3, you never start with more than 3. Certain cards can get you +1 action or something like that, and that's where you can use the die. Be like, oh, I used 1, but now I got +1, put it back to 3.
Makes sense.
So that way both players can easily see how many actions are remaining. For energy, you start with 1 energy in round 1.
Okay.
Round 2, you get 2 energy. Round 3, 3 energy, and so on.
Okay. Stone style.
Additionally, each stone you control at the beginning of a round, you get +1 energy.
Okay.
So if I started with 2 stones in round 4, Nick started with 1, I would get 3 + 2. He would get 3 + 1.
Okay.
So very simple structure. All right. So very start of round, calculate your energy, mark it out, calculate your actions, which is 3. Boom. Draw a card, always, to start a round. So we start our round.
Do we simultaneously draw a card, or are you started your round?
Oh, no, we both simultaneously, which will make sense here in a second. So we draw a card, boom. That starts the round. Now, we will take turns back and forth with actions. Actions are one of 3 things. Either 1, play a card. If you have a card, and this is where we will use our zoom view up here. Nope, let's turn the card so you can see the card, not me. Fantastic. You have a card. In the bottom corner here is the cost of said card. So some cards will say cost 0. Some will say 1, 2, etc. If you have a cost 0, it doesn't cost you anything. If you have a cost greater than 0, that is what your energy is for. So you're paying energy to pay the cost. Easy enough.
Yep.
You have cards that are called land cards. You have cards with power in the upper right-hand corner. Those are called wonders. You will have I cards, which are items, and you may have S cards, which are spells.
Okay.
Items and spells, as expected, you do it, the effect happens, the card goes into the abyss, which is your discard pile. If you have a wonder or a land, those stay in the realm you're playing in. Again, very similar to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Where, hey, you play monsters out, those monsters stay there, you use a spell, the spell's been used.
Yeah.
Lands are like the continuous land cards. The main focus in playing is you can only play in the active realm.
Okay.
So in round 1, you only have 1 active realm. You can only play there. Round 2, you can play in 1 or 2, and so on as the game progresses.
Nice.
So you can't super plan forward. You can in your hand, but you can't play forward.
I was worried about that. I was like, okay, if you win, you get 4 stones, and like,
yeah, so you have to get.
But you can balance out to try and attack. So
yes,
got it.
So you play a card. So you'll play a card down. You pay its cost. So for example, I play this here. This is a land card, Vulcan Veil, cost of 0. It says here it has an effect. It's not going to happen. It says when you play a 3rd Sulfera land, this is 1 Sulfera land, you may untap this. We'll explain what tapping and untapping means in harvesting in a moment with iconography or the terminology. But I play a land card, 0 cost. It would then go to my opponent's turn. They would play a card. Most likely, your very first turn, if you have a land card in your hand, you want to play the land card. It costs 0. The benefit of a land card is every other card with that symbol on it, as he's reading his card, not paying attention, costs -1 cost. So if you have a land down already...
Match the same suit.
Yeah, same symbol, same land grouping.
Got it.
So, your turn, you get to play a card.
So I was looking at doing a land one also. And these ones on mine say there's a Thalwind Link harvest, gain 1 action.
Yes, yeah, so the harvest will explain shortly in terminology. So Thalwind is the name of your grouping, that symbol in the upper right hand corner under your card. Yours is Thalwind. Okay. The benefit is the symbols are very clear.
You should have to just know. I don't know what. Yeah. Okay.
It'll make sense as we, yeah.
No, I was just saying I don't know why they wouldn't just have the symbol on there also. But if there's only a few symbols in that.
Yeah, there not many.
Sure, no, that does. But sure, we'll do one.
So boom. So over here, there we go. Tells you one number. 2.
So I played the Sea Fly Nests. It says Kingdom, and it has a small 3 next to it. Whenever a wonder moves into or out of this realm, you may put a +1 counter on it, and then it has a Thalmud Link, Harvest, gain 1 action.
Yep. So we'll come back to all of that.
Okay.
But first turn, you're going to want to play a land card. So that is one of your actions, playing a card. Again, that had 0 cost. If I wanted to play a wonder, like this one has power of 1, it costs 1. Well, I have a land down, that costs 0 now because it -1.
Okay.
So
is it only in the same lane that you get the discount?
No. The land is continuous across your board.
Okay.
So right now we can only play in this lane, but in number 2, even if you have this land over here, you still get the discount over here.
Interesting. And the discount only applies, did you say only
the matching symbol.
To land specifically. Like if you land down with matching symbol, then you get the discount.
The land's the only thing that gives you the discount.
So if I had 2 different lands down, I would get a discount of 2 off from one of my cards?
No, always just 1. So it's always 1. So regardless how many land, so if you put like mine here, if I play a 3rd land card, I get a bonus.
Yeah.
It does not give me the -3. It would give me the bonus, but
sure it's not the same lane.
Correct. It's all lanes.
Interesting.
Because like think of like Yu-Gi-Oh, you would have the land over here and it affects the whole player board.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing, but you're playing it in a lane because you have to.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter where you play the land card, it impacts your whole side of the board.
Okay.
So that is one thing you can do. You can play a land card, you can play a wonder card, which is your units, you can play spells and items. Second thing you can do is attack. So if you have power over here, so if I had a unit down and these were already down, I can spend an action to attack.
Got it.
So right now I would have already spent 1 action to play the Vulcan Veil.
Right.
I would have spent a 2nd action to play the Forgotten Drog.
But you wouldn't have because it says, oh, it's energy cost.
Yeah, so no cost for your energy, but you have to pay an action to do it.
Got it.
Unless it says otherwise. And then let's just say Nick had played nothing. He didn't have anything to play in his hand, so he soft passed. I would use my 3rd action to attack. If I do that, you get the stone over to your side. So that is now sitting on my side. If Nick were to get a higher power than 1 on his side, and then use a future action to attack,
I would have played this on my turn to defend against you.
Yeah, so he can now play this.
It says on defense, this guy gets +2 this round.
Yeah, so you'd have 4 power.
Yeah.
So if you had that, boom, he can attack and then take the stone back. So you're balancing your actions between playing the cards, attacking.
So when it's in the middle, whoever essentially deals damage first gets the stone.
Oh yeah. Oh, as long as you DS greater than.
Or
Yes.
is it whoever has the most power in general?
No, you have to use an action to attack. So even if you have the power available, you still have to attack.
To take a stone.
To take the stone.
Interesting.
Either to take it back or take it from the center. So those are the first 2 things. Third thing is, if you were in the situation, which is possible, especially later in the game, where maybe you don't have the energy to pay for higher level cards, you can draw 1 card as an action.
But I forgot, for the energy, do you generate 1 at the beginning of every turn?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Based on the round number.
Got it.
Plus stone control.
Got it.
So your first ability for actions is play a card. Second ability is attack.
Yep.
If you have a higher power, you would get the stone. If you don't, unsuccessful.
Right.
Third is draw a card. You can just draw 1 card.
Okay.
Fourth is tap a card. We're going to come back to that when you understand all the terminology.
Let's turn it sideways.
Which will be turn it sideways. There's going to be effects on the cards. Harvesting is one of them.
Yeah.
Like on the land cards. Once you've done that, you go through. Make sure I was reading this right. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. You go through. Once we're out of actions, you pass. You're done. You resolve the round. You prep for the next round. Then the next realm opens up for ability of play.
So once
and eventually
next
pass,
that's when you move on to the next realm and round.
Yeah, and you either can pass with actions left if you really want to, but it doesn't make sense because you can draw cards.
Right.
Or we would both be out of actions and you pass.
Is there a hand limit?
There's not.
So why would you never draw cards in your hand?
You wouldn't not do that, but in theory you don't.
Weird.
So well, there is a reason. You have a card in your hand that has with the last card you drew at the beginning of this round, if you kept them in order.
The one I drew first?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you read that effect.
It says, on arrival, seek 3, a wonder with cost 2 or less. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Play a wonder with cost 2 or less for free in this realm. Bury the rest.
Yes. So seek is draw the top 3.
Right.
So maybe you had another card that helped you prep that deck in a certain order.
Right.
And you're like, well, I don't want to draw those now because this card I can play on a future turn and instantly, boom, be able to play it for free. So there could be very few reasons why you wouldn't want to draw cards. But if you like structured your deck correctly in a certain way for a card effect, maybe you don't. It's your option.
Interesting.
So, again, you play your first round. You would start. You'd go back to 3 actions. You would count up how much energy you have, gain that amount of energy, and realm 2 is now open. And you can play in either realm. Then 3 through 7. Once you finish the 7th round in the 7th realm, then you count up how many things you have.
You're forced to pass through on actions, I assume.
Oh, yeah, if you're down to 0, of course.
Okay, there it is.
Oh, no, you're not forced to pass. There's free actions, which we'll get to in a second.
I mean, like, if you don't have anything on cards that allow free actions.
Then you have to pass.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was getting. I was like, why would you just not just keep going?
Oh, yeah, because there's a potential, like, I have 4 because of an ability, and you only had 3. So you have to pass. Then I can do my 4th. Then you pass again. Then I pass.
Do actions carry over from round to round?
They do not. Actions will not. I believe energy will.
Okay.
We will confirm that at the end of this video.
Okay.
I believe energy will. So last thing I'll give, and then he'll be able to read off all the terminology so these all make sense, is there's a bunch of card effects. So it'll say like on attack, on arrival. They are pretty straightforward. So on arrival means as soon as you play it on the field. Obviously, just like you have in play effects. That means that the card is out on the board, face up. There could be something that talks about the abyss. If it talks about the abyss, that is your discard pile. If it talks about on attack, it's on your attack, not on your defense, because, for example, you have an on defense effect, correct?
Yep,
on defense. So again, it's very clear on when they activate. If you're attacking, you're defending, you're putting the card into a rival, etc. So now, here's some terminology to make sure you can understand what all these little things
we'll
are.
Right down, just right from the top of the list all the way down through some we already covered. So actions, each player gets 3 actions per round. Use an action to play a card, attack, draw, or activate an ability. Oh, so you also have to use one to activate an ability on the card as well. Interesting.
Ability, unlike, so...
Well, this is automatic. Like,
yeah, so on the defense is automatic. Yeah, certain abilities where
probably,
it's like...
I assume it's probably... It says whenever, so I assume that's what, like, the Kingdom one.
Yeah, there'll be some.
I assume also... This is on arrival. I don't know. Okay.
There'll be some where you have to trigger the ability. It'll, again, the card will be clear.
Allied Wonders are all wonders you control. Abyss, the place where you destroyed and discarded cards go. Although it's called the Abyss, each player maintains a separate pile of cards they own in the Abyss. Active player, the player currently taking the turn is the active player. Active realm is any realm that has been opened, unlocked. Cards can only exist in active realms. Only active realms can be targeted. Cards can't be moved, portaled, or otherwise directed to arrive in an inactive realm.
So you can't play ahead of the game.
Correct. Arrives. A card arrives when it enters any realm from a hand, the Abyss deck, or banishment. Moving from realm to realm does not count as arriving.
Quick aside there.
Yep.
One thing I love, you have them in your deck, I do not right now. There are dragons in this game. Dragons have a fly ability, which we'll give up what the fly ability means, but it allows you to transport from realm to realm.
Nice.
That specifically is for that description. That is not on arrival, you're just shifting.
Yeah, the card that we read beforehand, the Renade Hopmaster, she is on arrival, is when you do the Seek 3.
Yes.
Thing.
So as soon as she comes in, but she can come out of the Abyss or out of your hand, and those are both on arrival.
You can literally pull out of the deck, put in. So, Banishment is in a game area outside decks, hands, the world, and the Abyss. If a wonder and or other card is banished, it does not trigger when this dies abilities. So just removed from the game, it sounds like.
Yep, typical exilement, banishment.
Battle. Anytime player attacks in the realm, a battle occurs. There's an attacking player and defending player. Sum the power of each of the player's wonders in the realm to determine the winner. The winner conquers that realm and seizes the stone. Bury. Put a card or group of cards on the bottom of the owner's deck in any order the owner chooses.
You also have that on that same card.
Yep, the 2 I don't choose go under.
Yep, so you get to choose the order, which is nice, especially if you're running out of deck. And you're like, ooh, I really want this card now, but I'm going to want that card before the other card, and then you can stack your deck a little bit.
Core. Cards with the core stat can be played from your hand, can't be played from your hand unless you have a matching orbital link established. For example, you can't play a core Petria card unless you control a Petria link in the realm.
Yep. So that example is here. So it says it has the. Ooh, let me give you the card for you. Give it a second.
Go to the middle.
Oh, there we go. Boom, right there. So right under this little symbol, it says the word core. It's very small, but it's there. That means that I cannot play this card unless I have the proper linkage, which is the land card in this example, on the board. So in that realm. So that's something you got to pay attention to. Is certain of these cards that have the word core, is you have to have a linkage to that card. So they're more powerful, but you got to know what you're doing.
Counter. Some abilities put plus and minus power counters on cards. These counters give a permanent increase or decrease to the wonder's power. When both plus and minus counters are on a card, remove an equal number of counters. When a wonder has negative power, it dies. Wonders can survive at 0 power. Interesting. Whenever a card is put into a location other than the realm, such as a hand, the abyss, deck, or banishment, all counters are removed from it. You're just holding counters and the cards in your hand.
So like that example here, on attack, I hoard, put 2 +1 counters. That's why we have these other D6s. So it's at 2 D6s, boom, boom, on the card. Now my power is 3.
Other types of counters have various effects, such as null counters and shield counters. Class. Cards have classes as described their categories and roles, such as monster, right, or utility. Some classes have special rules, such as equipment. Current realm. The realm that is open for the current round. Destroy. Put a card from the world into the abyss. Sacrificing does not count as destroying. Dies. When a card dies, including being destroyed or sacrificed, it leaves the world and is put into the abyss. Whenever dies, which is the term, triggers, happen as soon as it leaves the world. Okay? So whenever the whenever dies ability triggers whenever it leaves the world. That's the same there.
Yeah.
Discard. Put a card from the player's hand to the abyss. Enemy and wonder controlled by the opponent. Energy. Energy is a resource that's played. Cards from the player's hand. Equip. Some items have the equipment class. All equipment equips to a wonder if able. When an unequipped equipment is in the same realm as an allied wonder, it automatically equips as a triggered effect. Its controller chooses which wonder it equips to if necessary. Sorry for the helicopter in the background, everybody, if you can hear that. If the equipped wonder leaves the world, its equipment remains in the realm and equips to another wonder there with the same controller. If there aren't any, the equipment stays in the realm unequipped. This includes death and portal effects. If a wonder you control arrives in the same realm as an equipped wonder you control, you may choose to move the equipment to the new wonder as a triggered effect. Note that moving does not count as arriving. So if an equipment, if an equipped wonder moves to another realm, equipped cards move with it. Players can't normally move equipment from one wonder to another unless an effect explicitly allows it.
So in that example there, it said if a new wonder is placed in the realm, and let's say this is my example. Let me use this guy. So do I have any people here? There we go. So I had this here, and let's say I had this attached. Boom, equipped wonder. Okay. It said as a new one comes in, you can then switch this to attach to the other as a triggered effect. That is your other action type. So play a card, play a card, attack, draw a card, or trigger an effect. So that is spending an action to move this.
Okay.
So that was where you were asked earlier, like, when their effects are triggered, like play reaction. That is one of them.
Got it. Okay. Also here, if an equipped wonder moves to another realm, equipped cards move with it. Oh, got it. So if that moved over here, it goes with it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It flies over.
I was processing that the opposite way around.
Oh, the weapon move or the equipment move. Yeah,
exactly. Nullify. When a card is nullified, its abilities are treated as if the ability text were blank. Nullify does not affect counter, plus power, or other status effects, just ability rules text. If a card such as an equipment is granting an ability such as flying to a wonder and that wonder is nullified, the granted ability is a status effect and is not nullified unless the ability of the equipment is nullified. If a card is nullified after it's played but before it resolves, it still resolves but is treated as if its rules text were blank. A nullified spell goes to the abyss with no other effect.
Just each card type how nullify works, but pretty much means it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So very simple to how the word null works. It just means it's empty.
It says here that it wouldn't nullify an equipment granting the fly ability.
Okay, so specifically fly, which is transitioning from realm to realm, is not nullified, but spells and everything else are.
Yeah, because it says if a card such as an equipment is granting the ability, such as flying, to a wonder, and that wonder is nullified, the granted ability is a status effect and is not nullified.
Yeah, because only the wonder is null, not the equipment attached to it's null.
Got it.
So that means it's not...
Doesn't carry over.
Yeah, it's not like everything. It's just the one card that's null.
Got it. Power, measure of a wonder's strength in battle. Realm, one of the 7 battlefields, each with a stone to seize. Sacrifice, choose and move your own card to the abyss. Sacrifice doesn't target and can't be prevented.
That'll be card effects that say, hey, to sacrifice this card, get something else, like bonuses or whatever, boosts.
Status effect. A status effect is an ongoing modification created by an ability. It may last a fixed and indefinite time. If an ability uses the term get, it's a status effect. For example, undead wonders get +2, granted abilities and status effect. So like on defense, this gets +2 this round. That's a status effect, which could be nullified.
That's true.
Stone. A stone marks control of each realm. At the end of the round 7, at the end of round 7, the player with the most stones wins the game. Each stone gives its controller an additional energy at the start of each round. Oh, so when you get 4, you don't automatically win. It's just
I'm at the end. So at the end of 7, if you have 4 or more, you're gonna win. That's what I meant. Yeah, so it's not as soon as you get 4.
Seize stone. Gain control of a stone. Cool. Tap, untap. Turn a card sideways to indicate its ability has been used. Cards don't untap on their own. Tapped cards can still battle normally.
So, perfect example right here, Vulcan Veil. Harvest, gain 1 action. You tap the card, which means it has now been used. It triggers the harvest ability, which is gain 1 action. So I would be like, boom, I would use an action to tap that potentially. Some taps are free, some are not, it would tell you. But then you would gain an action.
That's not hot of me.
What?
Oh,
it slid.
That wasn't all the way in the sleeve.
Yeah. So there might be a card that allows you to tap another card, which boom, you tap that, get another action.
Interesting. So you're sure you have to tap that to do the harvest? Because it didn't say tap this. One of the cards in here says tap to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, it'll explain.
Okay, cool. Yeah. The prisoner. The prisoner is not free. Because this card remains a mystery.
I believe harvest, it'll clarify, is a free tap. So you can tap, it's a free action to tap a harvest specifically versus tap to pay, which is that's when yours will say to tap or whatever.
Tokens. Tokens are treated as virtual cards. Tokens can exist in the player's hand, deck, banishment, or the abyss. If a token goes to one of these areas, it stops existing as soon as it arrives. Tokens entering the abyss will trigger when die/destroyed abilities before they stop existing, unless specified. Tokens have the same orbital as the card that created them. When a token is created, you may be able to choose from multiple physical token options. For example, if you create a Bella token, you can choose to use a physical Bella token card or a Bella the Noble if you own that token card. If you don't own a physical token card, you can use any object to represent the basic version of that token.
Yep, so example here, we just packed a Harp Enjoyer token card, so it says T on the bottom. It's just a card that's sitting there. And then some other cards might be like, hey, if you have a token, you get this effect. Like it literally says power, asterisk, cost, dash. So the other cards would tell you how the tokens work.
So it's like a summon.
Yeah, so this one specifically is like a sorcerer or summoning an undead. Cool. Usually to block in front of you.
Unknown lands. Some lands are on the backs of tokens. They can't start the game in the deck except in some formats, like draft. Oh, weird, interesting.
That's normal to like Star Wars Unlimited as well.
Oh, okay.
They'll just start with like special cards on the back of tokens.
A card, so Wonder, a card type that has power for battle. Yep. World, the game board containing all 7 realms, does not include lands, decks, abyss, or banishment. Hands, decks, abyss, or banishment. All right, so then
So,
some keyword
keywords.
abilities here.
So these are all the things that are on the actual cards now. So it'll say this word, and it says it usually very clearly in bold, or it's the first thing that it states.
No.
And it'll say that word, and then next to it, it'll have a number, usually in like a highlighted color.
All right, so we have Ascend. A card with Ascend triggers an effect at the start of the round 7. The effect lasts the entire round and counts as a temporary effect. If a card with the Ascend is played after the beginning of round 7, it's too late, and its Ascend ability won't trigger.
Yep.
See? Cool. So you put it out there before 7. When 7 comes, its ability goes.
Yep.
Cool. Attune.
It's usually it's usually something like super powerful. That's why it only triggers at the very last round. I'm trying to see real quick. I don't believe out of the packed ones. I'll grab that though. Do we have an Ascend? We do not. Okay. So go ahead. Man.
Attuned. When you would spend an action to play an attuned card, instead spend no action. Death Strike. Death Strike means whenever this wonder wins or ties a battle, it targets an enemy wonder in the same realm and destroys it. Death Strike counts as an on-battle ability. Deny. When you deny a card, put the specified number of cards from the top of your deck into the abyss. Eternal.
So it'll be like deny
5. You take 5 from your deck, put the abyss.
Yeah, but I think it might be like it'll deny cards out of the top of your deck into the best, but it might have like another effect to like help like stop something you're doing, but I have to like sacrifice cards to do it.
Makes sense. So deny blah, blah. Eternal. Eternal triggers an effect when an Eternal card is put directly from the deck to the abyss. Faith. Some cards generate Faith, which is a separate resource tracked like energy and actions. Faith is not lost at the end of each round. Flying. Oh, so energy might be lost.
So energy is lost. That was the clear. I knew there was something that wasn't lost. Energy goes back to 0, and then you recount. Faith is just an on counter or a continuous count on counter.
Flying. Flying means when the wonder attacks, you may move it to an adjacent active realm at the end of the turn. This may be a flyer attack in multiple realms in the same round. That's cool.
Yep. So you're gonna attack here. Fly over here. If you have another action, attack again, and boom, boom, 2 stones.
Flying counts as an on-attack ability, which I assume means it's only activated when you attack.
Yeah, so you attack, you complete the attack, and then on attack, then you move it.
Got it. Harvest.
There we go.
Harvest is a tap-free action.
That's what I remember, yeah.
If you harvest I almost said a grain. If you harvest to gain an action, you can't use the action on the same turn. Wait until your next turn before you can use the action. You can harvest multiple cards in the same turn. If you do, tap them all at once. You can gain multiple actions and other effects this way, but you can't use the actions until the next turn. So, meaning if you have multiple out there that get a tap-free harvest action and go pop, 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 and get 3 extra actions in one go, and then that means you'll have all those to use.
Yes, but the main thing, the reason it says you cannot use that action on the same turn, you can't.
First and then,
no, you can't be at 0. So you can't be at 0 actions and tap a card to get 1 action and then use the action.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You would have to pass, and then hopefully it comes back to you. At the start of a turn, like I have 3 actions, I can tap my Veil, get a 4th action, wherever the 4 is on this die, boom, and now use one of the actions because I had 3 others to do my stuff, and then I'd have another action for future use.
Gotcha.
But you can only tap a card once, and it turns sideways as we demonstrated.
Horde means if you control a certain number of stones, the ability becomes active. Horde abilities turn on or off immediately when the stone changes control.
So that is my Forgotten Draw. On attack, Horde. So on attack, I would attack. In this case, let's assume I had enough power. I would take this stone. Boom. That's mine now. Put 2 +1 counters on this card. And it says if you have Horde if you control 1 or more stones. I control 1 or more now. That was on attack. Part of the attack was getting the stone, so it counts. I get the 2 counters.
Kingdom. Kingdom abilities are active while their controller controls a certain number of lands. For example, Kingdom 3. Whenever you play a Sulfero Wonder, it gets +1 this round. Means nothing happens until you control 3 or more lands of an orbitals anywhere. So mine says Kingdom 3.
Boom, right there.
Whenever Wonder moves into or out of this realm, you may put a +1 counter on it.
Yep.
Cool.
So that's a good fun comboing thing that we asked earlier, like, oh, if I put 2 lands out, do I get -2? No, but if you put 3 out, you now get that ability. And lands cost an action, but don't cost any cost energy-wise to put out.
Yeah.
So if you have an extra actions, you're like, okay, let me put out some lands.
Yeah. Link. Lands have orbital link abilities, such as the Praetora link. An orbital link has 2 important effects. 1, all cards of the orbital cost 1 less energy to play from that player's hand. This orbital link cost reduction doesn't stack with multiple links in the same orbital.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, if the player has 3, but we've already gone over that ad nauseum. Orbital link allows players to play core cards from their hand. As well. Other abilities such as Seek may allow players to play core cards without meeting the link requirement. Ah, interesting.
Sorry, what was that?
So if you Seek, it could allow you to play without meeting the core requirement.
Yeah, a card would say Seek on it.
Nice. Well, I think it's gonna be like Seek and play. Like if
but I say Seek ability. It would
like
be on the card.
This isn't play, but if it says
it does.
No, it says Seek 3, a wonder with cost 2 or less.
Then play 1.
It doesn't say play.
Yeah, it does. We keep reading the card.
Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Oh, it's in parentheses. I thought it was.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the if you see parentheses on your card, it's explaining the effect.
The action, yeah.
Or the effect.
So
action.
for Seeking, you don't have to have the land out there to play the core because
that's what it meant. Yeah. So because you're not paying a cost when you Seek, specific for that card at least.
Cool. Null counters. A card with a null counter is nullified. Treat it as though the rules text were blank. Portal. Portal means to banish a card and then return it to the world immediately. Since a portaled wonder leaves the world, its equipment unequips and stays behind. Cards return to the world untapped, and on arrival, abilities will re-trigger. You can't attempt to portal anything to an inactive realm. When it returns to the world, it does not count as a new instance of the card. This means it will still trigger the same end-of-round effects it had before it was portal. Okay. Protector. As long as a card has a protector counter with that card with protector, that card is a protector. A protector counter is a one-time stoppage of an enemy attack that would seize the stone by winning a battle. When a stone would be seized, remove the protector counter from the protector in that battle instead. If an opponent wins a battle but is prevented from seizing a stone, it still counts as winning, and whenever you win a battle, abilities trigger, the same as they always do. Protectors don't prevent transfer of stones outside of battles.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of a shield.
Yeah.
It's just saying you blocked stealing the stone, but it still was a successful attack.
Yeah.
So all the on attacks still happen.
Seek. When Seek resolves, reveal a number of cards from the top of your deck. Choose a specified card if able, and you may play it at no cost in that realm as if played from your hand. Bury the revealed cards that weren't played. You can play core cards using Seek regardless of its links. Cool. Shield. A shield counter is a one-time protection against destruction or enemy targeting. Whenever a target with a shield counter would be destroyed or targeted by an enemy card or effect, you may remove the shield counter instead. So different than protect. It doesn't stop the stone, but it stops the attack from hurting.
Which is why they named it differently, but mentally, if you're thinking of other things, you're like, protector, okay. It's like a shield, but it's a shield for the stone is a protector. A shield is a shield from all the effects and whatnot.
And we're on the last 2 here. So stun. Stun has 2 effects. First, it taps the stunned wonder. Note that tapping is permanent. So if the controller may not be able to use that card's tap ability ever, although it can still attack and defend normally. So even though it's tapped, it still has an attack and defense.
Yeah, but tap, so as we say, tap happens once. It's not once and it resets in the new round. It's once and it's done. Unless you have a card that untaps.
Second, stun reduces the wonder's base power to 0 until the end of the round. Effects like plus and minus counters and buffs from equipment are not part of the base power. So it'd still get those buffs.
Yep. So it's the physical card itself only.
Remember that wonders with less than 0 power die. Oh, so even if it's equipped, it would still die. Because the equipment doesn't count.
No, wait, reread that.
Wonders with less than 0 power die. Effects like plus and minus counters and buffs from equipment are not part of the base power.
Yeah, so if it goes under 0. Yeah. So it's one weird difference where usually if you hit 0 power, you're dead. In this case, you can hit 0 and you're fine. If you go under 0, you die off.
Just suck the life out of you. All right. And the last one. Symbiosis. Got Venom up in the works. Wonders with Symbiosis copy all abilities of a wonder with matching power on arrival. When Symbiosis copies on an on-arrival ability, trigger that on-arrival ability. This means Symbiosis can be used to copy an on-arrival ability, but it can't use a copy on play ability. Makes sense because you were not playing the other card.
Yes, because you're not playing, but you're arriving like the other card arrives. Yeah.
The copy effect is locked in on resolution and won't change if the copied source leaves or changes. So even if the source dies, it stays with that information. When a Symbiosis card leaves the world, it loses any effects it was copying. This means it can't copy anything while it's in a hand, the Abyss, a deck, banishment. Its Symbiosis ability re-triggers if it enters the world again. Symbiosis can't copy another Symbiosis ability. If a Symbiosis ability is nullified and then unnullified, it won't revert to the previous ability, since Symbiosis abilities must be set on arrival. Instead, it will be copying nothing. Symbiosis counts as an on-arrival ability.
Boom. Yes, so overall, there's a lot of terminology, just like a lot of TCGs.
Yep.
90% of learning this game is learning what the abilities all do and how they connect together to one another.
Yep.
So the base concept of the game, again, just a quick recap. You're drawing a card, playing a card, using a card to attack, or tapping a card, or using a trigger ability. Those are what you're doing over and over and over again. You play 7 rounds using those actions. At the end of 7 rounds, whoever has the most stones wins the game. That's as simple as it is, but there's a lot of push and pull of how all these cards are interacting with one another.
Yeah. Cool.
But for future videos, we will have an unboxing of Call of the Stones, which is the second set.
Yep.
That will be significantly more packs. I believe each box has 30 packs, 12 cards apiece. Hopefully pull some amazing cards for you guys. Mythics and serialized cards or whatnot. Then we will have future playthroughs. Because we're planning, we have Gwent, we have this now, we have some others, Marvel Legendary,
we have
to
Star Wars,
do
a deck building game.
Deck building and TCG type month. So that'll probably come around the summertime. So stay tuned for all videos, card game, and on a board game channel.
We could even do a head-to-head with Dragon Eclipse because that has the arena where like
that's true. We have Dragon Eclipse we can add in there.
Cards we can use and just
there was another one I was thinking. We talked about earlier, Yu-Gi-Oh! Potentially just getting some Yu-Gi-Oh! Not going crazy, but just getting $20 a pack each or something like that.
I would love to just get like, so do Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, right? We each get like a starter pack of each, and then we get like 5 to 10 boosters or whatever. Yeah. And then we just create our decks based on that.
Yeah. I would love I never played Pokemon in my life.
No?
I've collected, I've played Pokemon Go in the games. I never played the TCG.
I would want
Yu-Gi-Oh! I played hardcore.
Yeah. I would want OG Pokemon though. Like I don't want the new ones that are like
I
all
agree.
These crazy abilities.
No, Gen like 1, 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! Same thing. Gen 1, I don't want all the synchro summons and all of that.
No.
I want the base.
Yeah.
There's spells, traps,
Dark
and
just
monsters. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm down.
But yeah, so thanks for watching our rulebook rundown / tutorial of Wonders of the First. If you have questions, you're interested in getting involved in the TCG, let us know. We'll be playing off stream a little bit to get comfortable with it, so we can answer some questions. If you're concerned about the AI artwork, again, we did not make this game. Yes. We didn't know prior to buying it, but we know now. We promote artist-created work, which is every game we have here, other than 2 of them.
Like our own as well. I am an artist myself, so very much don't approve. But again, also not stubborn to where if the money was already spent before we knew, we're not going to guilt trip ourselves into wasting the money that's there. So we will make use of it. If we enjoy it, then we'll enjoy what we have, but we won't be supporting them going forward. Unless they start making actual artwork.
Yeah.
If we can validate that they're starting to do boosters where they have actual artists making actual artwork, then we probably would continue progressing.
Yep.
So, but thank you for joining us here at Bald and Board Games. I'm Bald.
I'm Art.
And we will see you. Is there a name to this world?
The first.
All right. We'll see you. The world's the first.
On the first.